Okay, so let's all begin in a comfortable seat. So I'm going to start cross-legged. And just get nice and comfortable. It's kind of nice to shuffle the sit bones back a little, leaning forward, and then come to sit up so your spine is nice and long. I'm just resting my hands on my knees, nice and easy. And I'm going to close my eyes. And I invite you all to close your eyes with me. Just starting to observe our internal world. Noticing the body, maybe for the first time this morning, seeing what's going on. And tuning into your breath. So this vital life force, this prana that we invite into our bodies. Just becoming aware of how it enters. Coming in through the nostrils. And trickling down the back of the throat, into the lungs, down into the belly. And leaving the body the same way. The journey of the breath cycle. Maybe for the first few breaths that we take here, invite the breath in through the nose and you can release it out of the mouth. Just feel a little sigh. Feeling the body just fall, dip, melt a little. So just take your time entering the practice. Take your time entering your breath practice. Feel for that sense of filling up the entire body with your inhale. And as you exhale again, sighing out the mouth, feel the release, feel the shoulders dip down away from the ears. A sense of softness and ease in the body. And after a few breaths like this, maybe you're ready to just slowly breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose. If this isn't available today, just keep exhaling through the mouth. The main thing is that the breath is clear, the breath is easy, the breath is full. Because without the breath in our practice, there is no yoga. So really observe your own rhythm, your own cycle of breath. Checking in, is it a little sticky? Is it hard to find a full breath in? Is it hard to find a full release? There's no judgment here, it's just an observation. I'm really feeling for that sense of the chest expanding forward, back, side to side, the belly expanding forward and back, taking up both sides. And as you exhale, feeling that subtle pulling back of the navel as the breath leaves the body. You feel that sense of release and letting go. And if you like, we can start to add a count to your breath. So maybe inhaling for the count of 4 and exhaling for the count of 6. Nice and easy, nice and slow. If the count doesn't work for you, you can decrease it. You might want to increase it, but just make sure that you're not having to catch your breath. Keep it full, keep it expansive. And as we sit here focusing on the breath, let's start to pay a little attention to our bodies. So down to our roots, our feet, our legs, our hips, the pelvis. I'm just focusing in on this area of ourselves. And as we move to the practice, I'll be inviting us to pay a little attention to our roots, so our Muladhara chakra, which is our base chakra, governing our primal instincts. and really the basis of who we are. So that yearning for a sense of stability and security and safety, which right now I'm sure a lot of us are feeling a little unsure about. There's a lot of anxieties and fears and uncertainties in the air right now. The world is in a really strange place. And it's now more than ever that we need to connect to our root, to anchor us back down into our bodies, anchor us to the earth, to what is actually real. So we don't travel all the way up out of our crown and start to seek answers elsewhere or finding places to hide. Look into your own body, travel down to your root, stabilizing, balancing. And we'll continue this count with the breath for a few more cycles here. Filling up the chest, the ribs, the belly. And maybe finding a pause at the top of your inhale just for a moment, just holding in that breath. And as you exhale softly, slowly through the nose, feel the body draw back. Feel the body draw down. Feel gravity. And so it's with our inhales that we find this sense of lift and expansion, and the crown of the head wants to fly up towards the sky. And the exhales is that sense of pulling back. We feel the sit bones connecting to the earth a little more. It's just those two directional pulls. That upward force, that downward pull. And just breathe into the center of that space. Finding any connection you can to your root. So feeling your feet again, feeling the right leg, the left leg. Rooting down the right hip, rooting down the left hip. And finding your center. So drawing the navel in as we inhale, just feeling that sense of lift again. And exhale, feel the navel pull back. Take one more cycle of counted breath here. Enjoy this sense of filling yourself up, feeling light. And exhale to release the breath, release the count. Travel back to your natural cycle of breath, your own rhythm. And we're going to keep our eyes nice and closed here, but just take your hands in front into prayer, and we're just going to start to rub the hands really quickly. So we're just creating some friction and creating some heat. Just connecting the two palms together and feeling that lovely, soft, smooth surface. Hold up for one more breath. And now we're going to place the left hand over our heart and the right hand over our belly. And just feeling the warmth traveling from your hand into your body, and just finding that connection. That connection to your root, to your gut instinct. And that connection to your heart. So that sense of compassion and gratitude and unconditional love that you have for yourself and for your loved ones. And just tapping into that energy. And maybe sending out your practice to someone you care for. Someone who is struggling in these hard times that we're in. And just sending them your love. And let's release our hands back to our knees. We can blink open our eyes. And as we inhale, we're just going to start to turn our gaze up towards the ceiling. So just looking up and feeling the throat start to open up. Lengthening the front of the neck. And exhale, let's return to center. And we're going to turn our gaze down. So we're tucking our chin in towards our chest. And just gazing down at our roots again, seeing the feet, the legs, the hips. Feeling the back of the leg nice and long. And let's inhale, come all the way up and look all the way up towards the ceiling, looking back. Exhale, draw the gaze forward and all the way down. Keep the gaze down or lowered. We're going to start to add some movement here in with the spine. So starting with the pelvis, we're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis forward slightly. You'll feel the belly come forward, feel the chest, the heart lift, and lift the gaze. So we're finding a nice arch in the spine. Exhale, keep the gaze up, but find your tailbone start to curl it under, draw the navel in and allow the spine to round back. And really lean back as the spine rounds, so your hands are on your knees and you can let the arms be straight here. And you're just leaning back. The gaze is down towards your root. Inhale. Let the belly come forward, the chest, the heart lift. Broadening the collarbones, opening the throat. And exhale, curl the tailbone under, draw the navel in, rounding through the spine. Gazing down at your roots, so the root chakra is in the base of the pelvic floor. So we'll be doing a lot of movements today with the pelvis and the hips and the legs. Find that sense of stability in the body. Let's inhale, come forward, see the belly come through, the chest, the heart lift. And exhale, release. I'm just going to take our left ear towards our left shoulder. Just waking up the right side of our neck. Keep that right shoulder nice and soft. And just find a sense of release in the shoulders here, because this is generally where we hold all of our anxieties and our fears. Allowing that tension to soften. And bring your head back up. And take your ear over towards the right. Yeah, just let that left side ease off. And come back through center. We're just going to find a little side stretch here before we start to move forward. So as we inhale, right arm's going to reach up towards the ceiling. And again, find an exhale just to release the shoulder down. And as we inhale again, really feel the ribs on the right side lifting up, separating as the arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left fingertips out towards the left, and let's hinge over. Inhale, feel the ribs on the right side lift. And as you exhale, find that length, reaching that right arm over towards the left, grounding both sit bones, and maybe just leaning the head, the chest back a little. Coming back through center, we'll swap sides. So inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, just to soften the shoulder away from the ear a little. Again, find an inhale. Feeling the ribs on the left side reach up, separate, find space. And as you exhale, drawing the navel in slightly as we hinge over towards the right. Inhale to feel the ribs on the left lift up. And exhale, allow them to lengthen. Waking up the left side body. Come back to center, just pick up the shoulders or roll the head or do whatever movement you want. Just find a bit of a release in the body. Okay, we're going to come forward onto our hands and our knees. So finding our tabletop position. So here we're going to stack our shoulders over our wrists. And we're going to make sure our hands are underneath the shoulders as well. We're going to turn the hands in. So you want your two middle fingers touching here. So that's the width of your shoulders. And then we can turn the hands back forward. So all 10 fingers are facing forward. Hips are over your knees. Your feet are plugging in. So really press the feet and find the baby toe and connect it down to the earth. Hugging the arm bones in, elbow creases facing forward. And just plug in through the hands and the feet here. Maybe just lifting onto the fingers a little, just get a sense of that connection to the earth with your hands. And let's just find a steady breath here, inhaling, just feeling the belly expanding. And exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine, feeling that activation in the core. Again, just an easy inhale here, so the body is still. Exhale, pull the navel in. We're going to start to move to our cat-cow from here. So finding our cow pose, arching the spine, bring the heart, the lungs forward, lifting the gaze. Staying connected to the hands and the feet, particularly pressing down through the finger knuckles. Exhale, curl the tailbone under, round through the spine. Let the head be heavy, and really feel the shoulder blades separating down the spine. Plug in through the feet, and while you're here, take your moment here to make sure that the feet are in line with your knees and that they're not twisting. Inhale, feel the belly dip, let the heart, the lungs come forward, open yourself up. Exhale, round through the spine. Let's take two more like this. As you inhale, open up. You can speed up or slow down. Exhale. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, round through the spine. Leaning forward slightly. And let's come back to our neutral tabletop. We're going to take that same movement, but we're just going to isolate the movement into towards the hips and the pelvis. So the upper body, the shoulders, the head is staying exactly where they are, so they're not moving. Plugging with the hands and the feet. We're going to inhale, find your tailbone, and just start to tilt the tailbone up and allow the belly to soften a little. But keep the shoulders, the neck, the head nice and still. Exhale, pull the navel in towards the spine and just turn the tailbone under. Inhale, feeling the tailbone lift, belly softens. Exhale, round. So we're just finding our anterior and posterior tilt in our pelvis. So as we tilt the tailbone up, finding our anterior tilts. Exhale, draw the navel towards the spine, curl tailbone, posterior tilt with the pelvis. So it's just finding out how the pelvis works and how it reacts with the spine and the crown of the head. Take a few more slow like this. Keep the feet plugged in, keep the hands plugged in. And just see, can you just move the pelvis in space? Take one more cycle. Inhale, tilting the tailbone up. Exhale to tuck it under. Come back to neutral. And we're going to take 3 more rounds of cat-cow, just utilizing that pelvic movement. But if you want, you can come off the wrist for a moment. Just come onto the fingers. Or if you want, you can take your hand out towards the side, so fingertips facing out towards the edge of the mat, and just make some circles just to relieve the wrist a little. So going one way and then going the other. And then we'll come back for a tabletop, keeping the shoulders underneath the wrists, or on top of the wrist. Feet plugged in. And let's inhale first, find the tailbone, tilt it up. Dip the belly, start to move the chest, the heart forward and up. Lifting the gaze, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, curl the tailbone under, draw the navel in and round through the spine. Push the floor away, let the head be heavy, looking back at your legs. Keep looking back as you inhale, tilt the tailbone, dip the belly, open the heart, the chest forward, leaning forward slightly. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Good. From here, we're going to find our plank pose. So back towards your tabletop, sending the right leg long, sending the left. Keeping the shoulders over the wrist, keeping the arm bones hugging in. And make sure that the hips aren't too high or too low. Find that neutral line. Good. Lifting the heels a little higher. Finding another inhale. And exhale, just lower the knees back down to the floor. Lowering the knees back down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Lean the heart forward, and we're going to bend the elbows in towards the body and push back up. We're going to try that again, bending the elbows back, hugging in towards the ribs. And this time lower all the way. So now we're lying down flat on the mat. Tap the feet down a little, keep the hands underneath the shoulders, looping the elbows back. And from here, we're going to press the feet into the mat, activating the legs. And inhale, lift the head, the neck, the shoulders, finding your cobra pose. Elbows are squeezing in. Exhale to release. Again, press the feet down towards the mat, looping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift the head, the neck, the shoulders, maybe lifting a little higher. Keeping a sense of bend in that elbow. Drawing the navel in, keep the feet active. And release. And we're going to try that again. You can go to whatever height you feel comfortable with your spine. Pressing the feet towards the mat. Inhale, loop the shoulders, pick up the head, the neck. Maybe straightening the arms. And maybe turning your gaze up towards the ceiling. So feel for that breath in the front of the body, lifting up. And exhale, release. Press back up to your tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes and find our first downward facing dog. So lifting the hips nice and high. Make sure your dog isn't too short. So when you ripple forward into plank, your shoulders should still be over your wrists. Then the knees just come back. We want to make sure we have length in our dog because this pose is all about giving space for the spine. Bending the knees so that you can deepen your groins back and lift your hips. Draw the navel in. Find a lift in the pelvic floor. Hugging the arm bones in towards the ears. And just make sure the feet are hip width distance, that the hands are shoulder distance. And from here, we're going to explore that cow pose, that tilt in the tailbone. So finding an inhale, really tilt the tailbone, finding a gentle back bend, pushing the chest back towards the legs, lifting to the balls of the feet. Good. Take another breath here, nice and easy, clawing in through the hands. And let's look between the hands. We're going to tiptoe our way all the way towards the top of the mat. Keeping your feet at hip width distance, so making two fists with your hands and just place them in between the arches of your feet. And bending the knees forward, allowing the body to just drape over the legs. Let the head be heavy, so you want your head, your forehead coming in towards your shins as much as you can. Rooting down through the feet, so the feet are our first connection to the earth, to carry our whole body. And let's give them some sense of stability here by rocking forward and back, side to side, and see can you find your center point. So more often than not, we're either folding into our big toes and not making our knees knock in, or we're putting too much weight on the outer foot. See, can you center that? Plug in through all 10 toes, plug in through the heels. And while the knees are bending forward, feel for that length in the back of the thigh so the hips can lift. And feel that sense of washing down the spine as it folds forward. So all that lovely fluid from the spine is traveling into the brain. Root down, find a sense of lift in the leg bones and softening in the upper body. And we're going to take 2 more breaths here. If you want to take your hands just a little forward of the feet, and just find a gentle swing forward and back. And from here, we're going to tuck our chin towards our chest. Press into the feet, so keep a bend in the knees. We're going to roll up, so use the legs to let the arms, the head just be really heavy. And we'll come all the way up through standing. And take a moment here, find your breath. Keeping the feet at hip width distance. And tap back into that counted breath. So inhaling for the count of 4. Exhale. exhaling for the count of 6. And use this time to explore your feet once again. See, can you plug in through all 4 corners? Can you find that lift in the leg bones, that lift in the pelvic floor? Drawing the navel in and up slightly as you inhale, feeling the chest, the heart expand, the lungs expand. And exhale, feel that sense of pulling back, the shoulders soften, a little bit more weight in the feet. And let's inhale from here, open the eyes, bring the arms up towards the ceiling, looking up. Exhale, slight hinge at the knees. We're going to come forward, folding over, Uttanasana, so we're back to our forward fold. Inhale, take your hands to your shins, pulling the shoulders back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, planting both hands to the mat. Let's step back to our plank. Pushing the floor away. Strong through the midline. Let's find another breath. And exhale, lower the knees, bring the heart, the lungs forward, bend the elbows back and towards the body and lower slowly all the way. Untucking the toes, press the feet towards the mat and inhale, loop the shoulders back, lift the head, the neck. Finding your cobra, finding your back bend, maybe looking up. Exhale, release to the floor, push up to your tabletop, tuck your toes. Lift the hips, find your downward facing dog. Wiggle the dog out a little bit, wiggle your tail. Lifting to the balls of the feet, bend the knees a little more, deepening the groins, lengthen the spine. Looking between your hands, let's tiptoe our way all the way back towards the top of the mat. Once again, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Feet are hip width distance, knees are bending forward slightly, lengthening the thigh bones up. Inhale, hands to shins or hands to the floor, finding a halfway lift, pulling the shoulders back, navel's drawing in and up. Exhale to release. This time, take your hands to your hips, pull the shoulders, the elbows back, press into the feet, inhale, look halfway. Look forward, and we're going to come all the way up in a nice back bend. Good. Once again, closing the eyes, maybe circling the feet. So going clockwise, going anti-clockwise. Try to get some sort of center with the hips. So both hip points are facing forward. The pelvis is neutral. Good. Okay. From here, I'm just going to turn to face you guys. We're going to keep with our Tadasana, our mountain pose, which is our feet hip width. We're just going to inhale, bring the arms up and overhead, and we're going to interlace the fingers, but keep the index finger and the thumb straight. So it's kind of like a little toy gun. Find a big breath in, feeling the ribs lift, feeling the lungs expand, hugging the arms in towards the ears. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge over towards the right, grounding through both feet. And again, feel the ribs on the left side lift up on an inhale. And as you exhale, deepen the stretch, using the bottom hand to pull the top hand a little further. And draw the navel in, come all the way back up. Inhale, lifting the chest, a little root down through the feet. Exhale, lifting up and over. Inhaling into the ribs on the right side this time, feeling them lift up a little, find some space. And exhale, deepen the stretch. Using again the bottom hand to just pull the top hand a little further. Pressing through the feet, hug the navel in towards the chest. Come back through center, release the arms, but keep them up towards the ceiling. Find an inhale, we're just going to come onto the balls of our feet. So just stretching into the feet a little and also exploring our balance, exploring our focus. Inhale, just lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, feel the shoulders soften away. Take another breath here. And exhale, release the heels and fold over your legs. Finding your Uttanasana forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, so hands to shins or hands to the floor. Pull the shoulders back, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold and release, melt over your body. Lift your hips, lift your tailbone. Planting the hands, we're going to step the right foot all the way back, and we're going to release the back knee and then tuck the back toe. So we're finding our low lunge. So nice and low in our lunge. We want to keep our front knee over our front ankle. So we're finding that 90-degree angle. Fingertips to the floor. Plug in through that back foot, so much so that you can lift your back knee. So really feel for that connection and lower the knee, but keep pressing down through the back foot. We're just going to start to make circles with the hips. So we're just stirring up the cauldron, stirring up the pot. So the pelvis is home to all of our creative energy source. So we're just tapping into that energy and allowing it to flow. Trying to remove any blockages, any stiffness. Good, and let's find some stillness here. Press in through the feet. Reach the arms forward, holding the leg bones in, and then lift up on an inhale. Keep sinking forward with the hips, pulling the navel in slightly. The tailbone tucks a little. Maybe looking up towards your hands. If this is too much, just take your hands to your hips or maybe to your knee. And if you want to go a little further and explore a bit more of a back bend, take your hands to the back of your sacrum, fingers facing down towards the mat. Find an inhale, feeling the belly, the chest, the lungs lift. And exhale, start to turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep inhaling, finding space. Exhale, keep turning the gaze back towards the back of the room. Maybe taking your right hand onto your right calf and reach the left arm up and back. Stay connected to both feet wherever you are. Feeling this in the right hip, the right groin. And to come out, draw the navel in, looking up. Release your hands to the floor, looking forward, find a breath in. And exhale, finding our monkey pose, Ardha Hanumanasana, sending the hips back, lifting those left toes up towards the ceiling. So you can keep this left leg nice and bent, that's absolutely fine. You want to keep that connection to your thigh with your chest, looking forward. And again, let's explore that sense of cow pose with our monkey pose. So we're going to see, can we find a tilt in our tailbone up? It's really subtle, but it's just to stop us rounding forward. So tailbone is lifting, drawing the heart forward, collarbones are nice and broad. And then we'll inhale, come forward back to our lunge, fingertips to the floor. We're just going to pick up our back foot, draw towards our glutes. Exhale, release the foot, send the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, looking forward, find that cow tilt. And inhale, coming forward, pick up the back foot. Last one, exhale, send the hips back, left toes are lifting. And coming forward into our lunge, this time planting the hands, we're going to step back to our plank. Shoulders over the wrist, lifting the heels, hug the arm bones in. Make sure all your fingers are rooting down to the mat. Find another breath. Exhale, release the knees, reach the heart forward, bend the elbows back into the body, and lower all the way down to the mat. Press the tops of the feet in. Inhale, looping the shoulders, pick up the head, the neck, the shoulders, finding your cobra pose. Maybe lifting the gaze, find that lift in the navel and the chest. Exhale to release. Push up to your tabletop, tuck your toes, and come up to your downward facing dog. If anyone needs a break at any point during the practice, take a break. Just come down to your child's pose, which is knees wide, toes to touch, and just bring the arms forward. So always listen to your body, listen to the breath. If the breath is getting tight, just pull back a little. Lifting the heels, looking forward. We're going to tiptoe our feet all the way towards the top of the mat and fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the shoulders back. Exhale to release. Inhale, sweep the arms off, lift through the legs, the feet. And exhale, we're going to look forward, hinge all the way, come straight back down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, release, hands to the mat. Let's step the left foot all the way back this time. So adjust your legs as you need, keeping that front knee over the front ankle. The back foot is plugging in. Again, lift the back knee so you're really engaging that back foot. And release it down, but keep that connection. And again, let's make those big circles. So just stirring up that pot. Noticing how this side feels compared to the first side. Again, just imagining your root activating that energy and allowing it to start to move up the length of the spine. Good. Let's find some stillness here. Press in through both feet, hug the leg bones in and reach your arms forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Sink the hips. Stay anchored to that back foot. So that back foot is your balance. Lifting the gaze. And again, if this is too much, keep your hands to your hips and just making sure that your right hip is back slightly, left hip forward. Or if you want to take it further into your back bend, hands facing down, so fingers pointing towards the mat. Inhale, feeling the belly, the chest, the heart lifting up. Exhale, turning your gaze up towards the ceiling. And just guiding your gaze all the way back. Stay plugged in through both feet. Keep lunging forward in the hips. Maybe taking your left hand to your calf and reaching your right arm all the way up and over. Make sure there's no pinching in the spine if you're in this pose. Remember, this pose is just an option. To come up, press in through the feet. Draw the navel in and we'll bring the hands forward. Steady the spine. And let's inhale, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, finding our Ardha Hanumanasana, so pulling the hips back. The right toes are now facing up. So keeping a nice bend in that knee so that your chest can rest onto the thigh. Again, finding that tilt in the pelvis. So inhaling is very subtle. Just feeling that you'll even deepen the stretch across the right side here. Keeping the heart and the lungs open. Good. Inhale, come forward to your low lunge and just pick up the back foot, draw it in towards your glutes. Exhale, release down the hips back. Keep looking forward, right toes facing up. Inhale, come forward, pick up the back toes. And exhale, release, come back. Inhaling, come forward, planting the hands. We're going to step all the way back to our downward facing dog. Again, finding some movement in the hips, just shaking them side to side. Good. And find some stillness, hug the arm bones in, bend the knees forward, lengthen the thigh bones up and back, deepening the groin, drawing the navel in and up. So finding that sense of the lift, while anchoring down through the hands and the feet. And from here, we're going to inhale, send the wing to our left leg and extend that right leg nice and long. Point the right toes. Exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest And start to ripple forward into your plank. Hike that heel up a little higher. And let's send that right leg all the way back. Inhale. Exhale, hug the knee towards the chest, ripple forward, look forward. Hike that heel up a little higher. And send that right leg all the way back. Inhale. And exhale once again, hug the knee in, pausing here, we press the floor away, lift your hips. And we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. So adjust your feet as you need. Just like our low lunge, our front knee is over our front ankle. Find your back heel and lift the heel nice and high. As you lift the heel, you'll feel the hips lift. Now you can start to organize the hips a little, dragging the right hip back, left hip forward. And just looking forward here, steadying the breath, pressing through both feet. And we're going to hover the hands, see how the balance is. And now bring the arms all the way up. Finding our crescent lunge. So lunging deep into that front knee, lifting the back heel. Pull the navel back slightly and lift the chest. Maybe holding on to opposite elbows, sending the head back. This is just an option. If you want to take your hands to your hips, take your hands to your hips. Just feel that sense of lengthening up and releasing into the hips. Let's inhale, lifting the elbows up a little higher. Exhale, bend the back knee, lower to your lunge. Inhale, lift back up. So squeeze that back leg, that back glute. Slowly release, back to your lunge. Inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, we'll slowly release. Hands up towards the ceiling, untuck the toe, anchor that foot back down to the mat. And we're going to take a side stretch from here. So I didn't ask for any props at the beginning class, but if you do have a block or books, it can be handy to have here. Otherwise, don't worry about it. We're going to reach our left arm up towards the ceiling, just like in the beginning of class. Find an inhale. Feeling the ribs on the left side, lift up. And as you exhale, we're going to start to hinge over towards the right. Right fingertips to the floor or to the blocks. Feeling the ribs on the left side, lifting up as you inhale. And exhale, feel the stretch deepen, stay connected to both feet. And let's come all the way back up. Bring both arms up, looking up. Exhale, release both hands to the mat, and we're going to walk that right foot all the way towards the edge of the mat. So we're taking our lizard pose here. So again, really working into the hips here. So that right arm is on the inside of that right leg. You're going to press the arm into the leg, press the leg into the arm. Plug in through that back foot and see, can you allow a sense of softening through the hips? And looking forward. If you need to be on the tips of your fingertips here, that's perfectly fine. Just want to make sure that we're not rounding forward. So you want to feel for that sense of the breath traveling up from the pelvic floor, rippling into the belly, rippling up into the chest, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. It's like a wave. And take a steady breath here. And if you want to take it a little further, you can open up the hips. So we're going to roll onto the right side of that right foot, so the baby toe side of that right foot. Inhale, take your hand to your knee, and exhale, just lean the chest back. Nice and easy, let the weight of the head sink a little. So we're just deepening this stretch here for the hips. If this doesn't feel good, come back a step. If you want to take it a little further, we're going to reach our right arm up and all the way back, looking back at our right hand. See, can you pick up the back foot and hold the foot with your hand? Steady the breath here. Maybe see, can you gently press the foot into your hand? And relax that right shoulder back. So we're finding a bit of a back bend here. leaning the head back. Soft breaths. And releasing the foot if you're holding it, coming all the way forwards, pressing the hands into the earth, step back to your downward facing dog. And just for a moment, let's lift that right leg and just make some circles with that hip. We did a lot to open up that side. So just making big circles clockwise and reversing the circle. Bend the knees, lift the hips. Look back at your feet, lift into the balls of the feet, and let's ripple forward into our plank nice and slow, feeling for that wave in the spine. And let's just bend the knees here and send the hips back and up. So we're just finding a wave. Plug in through the hands and the feet, hugging the arms in. Send the weight into that right foot and inhale, reach that left leg up and back, pointing the left toes. Exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest as you ripple forward into your plank. Lift that back heel. And send the left leg nice and long. Find an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest. Hike that heel up. Inhale again, send that leg long. And exhale, bend the knee and ripple forward to your plank. Pausing here. And step that left foot in between your hands. Steady the breath. Front knee over your front ankle. Find your back heel and just lift it up. Feel that back leg energize. Feel the hips lift a little. Draw that right hip forward slightly. And just check your balance here. Really root down through both feet. And we're going to bring both arms forward and all the way up. Stay nice and low in the hips. Drawing the navel in and up and holding on to opposite elbow, but the different way this time, so the less habitual way. So just trying to change patterns. Lifting through the elbows. Find an inhale here. And exhale, lowering the back knee just for a moment. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, we'll lower that back knee. Reach the arm towards the ceiling and untuck the back toe. So we're back in our low lunge. Again, keep that front knee over the front ankle. Keep the tailbone tucking under slightly here. Reaching up with the chest, so feeling the ribs expand. And let's take that side stretch. So inhale, finding space across the right side body. And exhale, hinging over towards the left. So left fingertips are on the floor or onto a block. Inhale, feeling the ribs on the right side lifting up. And exhale, deepening the stretch. Keep sinking forward into the hips and stay connected to that back foot. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, reach the arms forward, planting the hands. Let's walk that left foot all the way towards the left side of your mat. So that left arm's on the inside of that left leg, and you're going to press the two in together. So that's just to help you stabilize yourself in this pose. Root down through that back foot, and maybe if you need to come up into the tips of the fingers. Again, feeling for that breath traveling up from the pelvic floor into the belly, waving up into the chest, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. And you can stay here, or if you want to take it a bit further, roll into the baby toe side of that left foot. Inhale, take your left hand to your left knee, and exhale, just push the chest back. Nice and easy. You don't want to make this movement too quick. Careful with the lower spine. Just lean the head back as much as is comfortable. And you can stay here for another 3 breaths, or reach your arm up towards the ceiling. Reach it back. Pick up the back foot and make sure you're bringing the foot towards your glute and not your glute towards the foot. We want to keep our hips nice and low. Press that back foot into the hand. See, can you loop that left shoulder back? Finding space across the chest, finding a gentle back bend. And release the foot if you're holding it. Both hands to the floor. Step up and back to your downward facing dog. Bending the knees. Lifting the hips. Plugging in through the hands, making sure your arm bones are hugging in. Take another big inhale here. Exhale to soften. And inhale, we're going to reach that left leg up and back this time, pointing the left toes. And once again, exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest and ripple forward into a plank. Look forward. Step that left foot in between your hands, bending into the front knee. Find your back foot and just turn. So now the back heel is pressing down to the floor. The front heel is in a direct line with the back heel. And you can allow the toes on the back foot just to turn in slightly. We're going to press down through the feet, guide that right hip slightly forward towards the right. And we're going to windmill wiper our hands all the way up. So we're finding our warrior 2 pose here, or Virabhadrasana 2. So we want to make sure that front knee is tracking in line with that front foot, and that front knee is over the front ankle. Plug in through that back foot. We don't want all the way tracking forward. Give this front knee a break by bringing the weight back a little. Take the arms forward, shoulder height. Find a big breath into the belly. Feel the spine lifting up out of the pelvis. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Feel the hips sink. Again, inhaling, lengthening the body, activating the legs. And exhale as you breathe out, letting the tension go, letting something you're holding on to just release. Flipping the front palm. Inhale, reach that left arm up, take your right hand to your right thigh. And again, feel for that separation of the ribs as you inhale, feeling that left side expanding. And exhale, come back to your warrior 2. Straighten into that front leg as you inhale. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend into that front knee, look forward, find your warrior 2. Guide that hip slightly over to the right. Inhale, straightening your leg, lift the gaze. And exhale, find your warrior 2. Straightening into your leg once again, take your hands to your hips. We're going to pivot our feet. So now our feet are parallel and we're facing the side of our mat. Root down through both sides of your feet. Take your hands to your hips and inhale. Feel the lift once again, the heart, the chest, the lungs. Exhale, look forward. Keep your hands at your hip crease and start to fold. So you want to make sure that you're not rounding here. We're keeping the spine nice and neutral. Keep the weight slightly forward in your feet. And pause here for a moment. And as you exhale again, just allow yourself to totally fold over. Finding a wide-legged forward fold. You can take your hands, the tips of your fingers to the floor if you need, or rest your hands down and draw your gaze in towards your legs. Again, rocking forward and back, feeling the upper body just release over the legs. So the legs are doing all the work here. Feel that lift in the leg bones. As the spine releases, as the head let go of the neck. Take another inhale into this pose. Exhale, find a sense of softening. Inhale, looking up. Find a halfway lift. We're going to walk our fingertips towards the top of the mat. As we do, Turn both feet, so pick up your feet and turn your toes, so now your toes are facing towards the top of the room. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Keep that back heel nice and lifted, and inhale, reach your left arms forward. And exhale, open up into your twist. So we're stacking the right shoulder or the left shoulder over the right. And lean the head back here, lean the chest back. Press down through both feet. Find that lift again in the pelvic floor. And exhale, release both hands to the mat. Step back to your plank pose, shoulders over wrists. An option here, you can lower your knees as we've been doing and come forward, lower down to your cobra. Or you can find your upward facing dog. So inhaling, looking forward. Exhale, bend the elbows about halfway. Inhale, reach the heart, the chest forward. Untuck the toes, straightening the arms, hook the arms into the ribs. And look up. Keep the legs lifting. And exhale, draw the navel in and up wherever you are, find your downward facing dog. Bend the knees, lift the hips nice and high. Remember, you can always drop to a child's pose whenever you need. Take a break, take some water. And when you're ready, we'll find the other side. So sending the weight into your left foot. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Point the right toes. Exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest as you ripple forward into your plank pose. Look forward. Step that right foot in between the hands. And straight away, we're going to drop that back foot, bending into the front knee. So while we're here, just make sure that your front heel is in line with your back heel. Your front knee is over the front ankle. And when you're ready, press in through both feet. Bring both arms all the way up. And find your warrior two. So it often happens that the front knee starts to fold in. So you can guide that knee out towards the edge of the mat. Again, finding that sense of lifting up out the crown of your head as you inhale. Exhale, soften and sink. Feeling both arms pulling away from each other, both fingertips are active. And see, can you find that sense of tilting the tailbone so we're not sticking our bum out like we're in our cow pose. We're finding that neutral pelvis, sinking the hips. Good, let's flip our front palm and inhale, reach the right arm all the way up. And breathe into the right side of your body here. Expanding the ribs, exhale, sink a little, keep bending into that front knee. Bringing it back to our warrior two. Straightening your front leg, inhale, bring both arms up towards the ceiling, look up. Exhale, turning forward, find your warrior two, sink into both legs, plug in through that back foot. Inhale, straightening, looking up. Exhale, release, finding your center. Last one, inhale. Exhale, sink the hips. Take your hands to your hips, straightening your leg. Just gonna turn face good. Straightening the front leg, and once again, we're gonna find our wide-legged fold. Take your hands to your hips. If you need a slight bend in your knee, please do so. Try and maintain that lovely length and lift in the upper body. And find a breath in. Exhale, look forward, hinge from the hips. So keep looking forward, try not to round through the spine, pausing halfway. And exhale, allow yourself to totally fold over. Once again, forward fold, it's not, or wide-legged forward fold. Now from here, we're just going to walk our hands as far forward as you can. And let the head rest in between the arms. And feeling that stretch across the upper body. Maybe bending the knees a little, looking forward, finding a deep squat. Exhale, push through the legs, straighten up, let the head rest between the arms. Again, inhaling, maybe bending the knees, looking forward, sending the hips back. Exhale, straightening the legs. Good. Walking your hands back in. Find a halfway lift, look forward. Exhale to release. We're going to walk our hands all the way back towards the top of the mat and turning your feet. I'm just going to swap my foot over. So now your right foot is facing forward, all 10 toes are facing forward. Left hand is going to go under your left shoulder. Inhale, reach your right arm long, feel the bones going on. And exhale, press into your feet, find your twist. So now we're stacking our right shoulder over our left. And keep drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. We're staying high on that back heel. And lean the chest back a little. Find space in your own body. One more breath. And exhale, release the hands, step back to your plank. And as we lower again, you can decide whether to lower your knees or we're going to bend our elbows halfway. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Untuck the toes, straightening the arms, squeezing them in towards the ribs. Looking up. And exhale, lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Find 2 breaths here. In through the nose and sigh out the mouth. Again, breathing in through the nose, sighing out the mouth, feeling the upper body melt. Look between the hands. And we're going to make our way up towards the top of the mat, folding over your legs. Find your forward fold. So bending the knees forward, make sure the feet are hip width. And maybe taking your hands to the back of your neck and just drive the neck along. Keep lifting the hips. Take your hands to your hips from here, bend the knees a little, look up, lift the chest, pull the shoulders, the elbows back. And let's lift all the way up through standing. Again, center the breath, find your center, so head over heart, heart over pelvis, pelvis over knees. And find your feet, and just start to make circles once again. Okay, from here we're going to widen our feet just a little and turn our toes out to about a 45-degree angle. Interlace your fingers to the webbing, palms facing down. Drawing the navel in slightly as we inhale, lift the arms up towards the ceiling, looking up. Exhale, push the hands down, push that energy down and find a little bend in the knees. Pressing through the feet, inhale, reach the arms nice and long. Exhale, push the breath down, bending the knees a little deeper. Bring the arms all the way down towards the root. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthening the spine. Exhale, push it down, bending the knees a little deeper. Go as far as you can go today. Don't worry. Exhale to release. And come all the way down. So we're finding our yogi squat, our malasana. So if you have your heels up, that's okay. Just make sure that there's no pressure on the knees and you're not rounding too far forward. Otherwise, if you have some books or blocks, you can just place the blocks underneath the heels or underneath your bumps and you can balance. Take your hands to prayer. And just use your elbows to guide the knees out a little wider. Rock into the feet. And start to slow the breath down. So really use the feet, press the feet so you can find that lift in the legs, that lift in the hips. This is a really good grounding pose as we lower our center point of gravity. And really just allow ourselves to be in our feet, to be in our legs. Supporting our root chakra, so supporting our sense of security and safety. Also our sense of self, who we are in this world. Breathe into that. Allowing the chest to lift, the crown of the head to lift. From here, we're just going to take our gaze down towards the floor. Reach your arms forward and fold. If you want, you can bring the feet in a little bit. Adjust the pose wherever you need. We're just finding a forward fold. So again, our gaze is down towards our feet, lengthening the back of the body. Take another big inhale here. And exhale, just look up. And we're going to start to send the weight back into the hips, nice and easy. Woo. Soft landing. Take your hand either side of your hip and just scoot your sit bones back a little. Draw the knees in, hands to the back of your thighs. Allow the chest and the heart to lift. And we're going to pick up the right leg and pick up the left. If this is too much, just do one at a time. Otherwise, we're going to hold. So this is our Navasana, our boat pose. So you want to pull the knees in towards the chest. Pull the heart up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking your hands, palms facing up. So really draw the navel in towards the spine. Keep lifting the heart. One more breath here. And exhale, release the feet to the floor. And we're going to start to round the spine nice and easy all the way down. So releasing the upper body. Feeling that sense of connection to the mat, to the earth, softening the shoulders. We're going to find our back bend from here. So we're going to take our bridge pose. So walk your feet in towards your seat. Keeping the feet hip width distance, keeping the knees nice and parallel with the hips. And press into the feet here. Before we start to move, we're going to again just find that pelvic tilt here, so that cat-cow movement. So as you inhale, drawing the tailbone under and feeling the navel lift. Really feeling that arch in the lower spine. As you exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine and you'll start to feel the lower back flatten to the mat. So finding our posterior tilt here. Inhaling, feeling the tailbone tilt, lift the navel, find your anterior tilt, your cow pose. Exhale, draw the navel in, flatten the lower spine. And now just inhale and see can you find somewhere in between those two. So find your neutral spine. So the lower back is neither flattened to the mat or overextended. Just find neutral. Pressing through the feet. Find a big inhale and let's start to lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. And keep using your breath to lift the pelvis. And as you exhale, feel that sense of rooting down through the feet, activating the glutes, activating the legs. Try to keep the knees so that they're parallel, so the knees aren't splaying out towards the side. And your hands can just rest down by your side, allowing the chin to draw in towards the chest. Gaze can be up at the ceiling. Keep the pressure, keep pressing in through the feet. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Allowing that lift in the pelvis. Finding space across the front and the back of the body. And let's take another inhale. And exhale, we're just going to lower our pelvis about halfway. Inhale, press into the feet and lift back up. Inhale to release halfway. And exhale, press into the feet, lift half. Pausing here for 1 more breath. And exhale, we're going to lower the upper spine first, pausing here. Start to lower the middle spine, pause, and lower all the way down. Keep the knees where they are for now. Try not to draw them in towards the chest. We're going to take the soles of the feet to touch and let the knees come out wide. Taking your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Press the feet together. Feel that activation in the legs and the hips. And start to slow the breath down. So really feeling the heat in the body, feeling for all that movement of energy. Observing how the breath is doing now. And just trying to create more space. Space for the physical body, space for the emotional body, the energetic body, and the spiritual body. Really listening to the sound of your lungs. Feeling the front of the body lift on an inhale. And feeling it soften back. Gravity drawing you all the way down. Slowly, we're going to take our hands on the outside of our legs and just bring the thighs back together. Draw the knees in towards the chest, just rock side to side, just have a nice massage for the lower back. And when you're ready, we're going to start to roll forward and back, nice and slow. So we're just getting a full body massage on the entire spine. So feet all the way back, all the way forward until you come forward, find yourself enough momentum. Pick up your sit bones and just draw them back a little and roll forward. So again, we're trying to find that sense of an anterior tilt. So finding that cow pose. Take your hands to your shins, inhale, draw the chest forward, looking up. Exhale, come forward about halfway until you feel that your belly, your chest are nice and rooted down into your thighs. Pick up your feet and just start to walk your feet forward just a little. Keeping a nice bend in the knee because we want to keep our chest connected to our thighs. Pulling the shoulders back a little, find that lift. Maybe start to wiggle the sit bones back. Just enough until you can get a nice neutral spine. So we want to keep again the bend in our knees. Inhale to look forward, keep drawing the heart forward. And as we exhale, drawing the chest forward between the legs, just allow yourself to totally fold. So finding our Paschimottanasana, our deep forward fold. Really nice counter pose for any back bend. And just feeling the breath moving up from the pelvis, up the spine, expanding the lungs. And feel for that sense of space across the back of the lungs, the back of the heart, the back of the chest. So you're lifting up on an inhale. And as you exhale, allow the back of the body soften forward into your legs. Really allowing a lovely release for the whole spine, the shoulders, as well as the legs. So we try not to have straight legs here, because when the legs are straight, it just starts to jar up the lower spine. So with the knees bent, we can just drape our body over and get a lovely release. Maybe tapping into that sense of a counted breath. We'll just stay here for 2 more breath cycles. So inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 6. And we'll slowly look up, break the chest forward. I'm just going to find one final posture before we finish up. So we're going to take a seated twist. So you can keep your right leg forward, bending the left knee and just cross it over that right leg. Stage 1, you can keep that right leg straight in front of you. Or take your fingertips back, you're going to bend that right knee and just bring that right foot all the way to the outer edge of that left hip. So I'll put it forward so you can see. So both sit bones are onto the mat. The right foot is on the outer edge of that left hip. And we're going to find an inhale, reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. And feel that right side just grow a little longer. Exhale, draw the navel in as you start to twist towards the left. And you can just hook that right elbow on the outer edge of that left knee. And just slowly finding length as you inhale, lifting the crown of the head. And exhale, deepening the twist, nice and easy. Careful to not jam into your neck here. So this twist is coming from the belly. Maybe looking all the way back towards the room. And keep the spine long. And just wringing out the body here, twisting the body really helps to neutralize any movements. And come back through center, fingertips back, just bring both feet forward, send them wide, and allow your knees to just drop out. Release the spine, release the hips. And we'll take that pose on the other side. So left leg long. Cross your right leg over the left. So you want the right sole of your foot planted down to the floor. This is stage one, with your leg forward in front. Otherwise, you can bend that left leg and bring it all the way back behind. So now that left foot is on the outside edge of that right hip. Settle yourself, root down through the hips. And we'll inhale, reach your left arm all the way up. Again, feel the lift. Grow yourself long. Exhale, pull the navel in and start to twist over to the right. Inhaling for length. Lift the crown of your head, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rooting through your sit bones. Just guide your attention towards the back of the room. Take another inhale here. And exhale, slowly coming forward. Bring your fingertips back behind. And we'll just windshield wiper feet. Good. And we're going to come forward into another seated position. You're moving the flesh away from your sit bones so you can really connect to your center so you're not rolling back. You want to keep that spine, all that work we did to lengthen. Take your hands to your knees and just close the eyes. And just take this time to observe the breath moving in through the body. So traveling in through the nostrils, down the back of the throat. Expanding the ribs, the lungs, the chest, filling the belly. Exhaling, feeling that subtle pull back in towards yourself. Feeling things soften a little, release. Journeying back into your counted breath. Maybe inhaling for the count of 6 this time. And exhaling for the count of 8. Making sure the breath is clear, that there's space for the breath. Drawing fresh prana and nutrients into the body with every inhale. And as you exhale, just allowing a release, let go of something that you no longer need. Whether it's a physical thing, an emotional thing, energetically. And as we're sitting here breathing, just journeying back down into your root, your Muladhara chakra. And then your imagination, picturing this sense of red, this glowing red ball down the root, so where the pelvis lies. Burning bright. And with every inhale, feeling that brightness growing up and out engulfing all that gray matter, that gray energy. Allowing that root chakra to grow brighter and brighter, stronger and stronger. Anchoring you to this world, to this place, to your true self. Allowing the body to soften, the muscles to release. Softening the jaw and all the muscles in the face, especially in between the eyes. Just soften it, spread out that skin. Sukha, finding ease. And at your next exhale, releasing your counted breath. Just return to your own rhythm, your own cycle. Find a full breath in and a full breath out. Taking your hands to prayer and Jani Mudra, pressing your right hand into your left, left hand into your right. So joining the masculine and the feminine sides of you and pressing your thumb into your sternum to center it all. Big breath in. Exhale, sighing out the mouth. Thank you everyone for practicing today. Hope you enjoyed the practice and hope everyone's feeling good. Namaste. Thank you.